Hey guys, it's Pi. Welcome to Tradelands. As I'm sure everybody in the community knows, Tradelands got a massive update yesterday. I've been up all night getting footage, putting together all kinds of assets for this video. This video is going to be the complete guide to the new 2020 April Tradelands update. Right behind me are the three new ships, the Taipan, the Alliance, and the Hook. Yeah, so this update came very late last night. We knew that it was coming for about a week. We had a couple of spoilers come through. We had some of the ships spoiled, some of the mechanics spoiled. So everything in this new update, not only do we have 3 new ships, but we have an entirely new scrapping mechanic with vouchers, and there's also new furniture items. And maps have gone off sale, and also for some reason stone pickaxes and stone axes don't give multiple yields anymore. But yeah, I mean, big thanks to everybody who helped me out to get footage, pictures, screenshots. Thanks to everybody who is here right now just to get all these ships together for an awesome little opening. I'm gonna go ahead, hop back into my Discord, let all these chaps say hi before we go ahead and start this video. You're on camera. Say hi to mom.
Hi, y'all.
All right, let's go ahead and get this update video started. All right, guys. So here we are at Harrisburg. We're gonna look at the new scrapping mechanic. Alright, so let's also look at the map. You can press M to open up your map right now, or you can click this button right down here in the bottom right. Very nice map. Not only is it going to show you the entire map, very convenient, but it'll also show you which way you are facing, which is very nice. Alright, so you come over to Harrisburg, and over here on the left, this gentleman right over here, Chance the Scrapper, he is going to allow you to exchange your scrap. Right now, there's only 3 options. There's going to be a little bit more. You can also use your scrap for some furniture items, and I'll talk about those a little later on in the video. You can exchange 100 scrap for 1,000 doubloons. And also, now you need a voucher for a Kraken, which is 500 scrap, and 5,000 scrap for a Taipan voucher. So these 2 new vouchers, that's probably what most of the scrap is going to be used for. Alright, how do you get scrap, you ask? It's very easy. There's a new deleting mechanic in your warehouse. You can come over to anything in your warehouse. If you have a lot of items that you crafted just to get your level up, such as all of these swords that I have over here, and I have just tons and tons of tomahawks that I use to get my blacksmithing level up, all you got to do to get scrap is you'll press this little delete button. It'll be on, your warehouse will turn red, and then it'll say shift, double click an item to permanently delete it. Deleting an item cannot be done. And then it'll also show you how much scrap you will get for each of those items. Very neat. Alright, and shift, double click, scrap added to your inventory. Yeah, so I have a lot of scrap from everything that I've grinded. Lots and lots of scrap. This is a very nice feature too. Very nice feature. I'm glad this was added. On a side note, if you have been grinding crafting levels, blacksmithing levels, carpentry levels, this scrapping mechanic is going to be your best friend. I scrapped about 1,100 items last night, and I exchanged some of those for vouchers, and I sold 200,000 doubloons worth of vouchers on, what was 3 days ago completely useless scrap. I love the scrapping mechanic, and I highly recommend that everybody here take advantage of it, especially while the prices for these vouchers are excellent. And to provide an excellent segue into the video, now that you have scrap, what can you do with it? Well, you can use your scrap to create any number of the new 12 furniture items. Alright, courtesy of Dark Lieutenant and also Deadshot for providing me these furniture screenshots. Alright, we have the brand new small bed, large bed, coat rack, dresser, fancy chair, fancy desk, fancy shelf, the oh so fancy governor's chair, the mat, the partition, the relic, and finally the rug. All new furniture items that you can create for scrap. Well, not just for scrap, but with scrap, and you can place in your house. And finally, the moment you have all been waiting for, drum roll please, with some commentating help from my buddy LegoKalen, we have the 3 brand new ships. Alright, now for the moment everyone has been waiting for. We are going to examine the 3 new ships in Tradelands. As you saw in the very beginning introduction of this video, there are 3 new ships: the Taipan, the Hook, and then the Alliance. 2 of these ships are going to change the meta. One of them probably not, but they are all very, very interesting. They are not bad ships to have. They are pretty decent ships. Let's go ahead and get started. First one is the Taipan. You're going to unlock it at level 6. It is a junk with 420 wood, 35,000 doubloons, 80 iron, and then 1 Taipan voucher. If you remember from earlier in the video, you can get that 1 Taipan voucher by exchanging 5,000 scrap at the Harrisburg scrap dealer. 5,000 scrap, as I said before, is a lot of scrap. Took me about 700 items. So the Taipan, even though it comes at level 6 and the oak, iron, and doubloons look fairly reasonable, that Taipan voucher is going to be very, very expensive right now, and this will probably change, actually almost absolutely change. Taipan vouchers are selling from anywhere about 180 to 300,000 doubloons. It's kind of crazy, but you know, we'll see if that price settles after the fad dies down. Let's go ahead and look at the stats. The Taipan is a fast, maneuverable ship capable of performing a number of roles. True statement. It is a junk multi-purpose with 6,000 hull strength. That is a lot of hull strength. That's twice the Lark. That's 1.5 times the bullet. And its max armament, though, is 4 times size for cannons. So those are 18-pounder long guns, and they are going to be located on the broadsides. You can see the little gun ports right there. So not great when it comes to armament, but here is where the Taipan starts to shine. It has 6 max cargo and 9 speed. 9 speed with junk rig sails. This is pretty much the fastest ship in the game. And I was actually in a dragon, and I was going almost straight upwind, and the Taipan was almost catching up to me. That is how fast this ship is. And the 6 max cargo slots at level 6, this is actually a pretty good trader. It's a nice little ship to have. All right, and Kalen, tell us a little bit about how you think this ship is going to change the meta.
So it's basically a glorified Lark. You know that shit that you take from point A to point B all the time? Yeah, but this is just so much faster. So like it's fast as a bullet, but it's like glass compared to like other larger ships, but is very good for trying to outrun most ships. It's very good for that small amount of cargo. Let's say you're doing you're doing a small fish cargo run, but you don't really want to be seen. This is the ship for you. Now,
and you said it was like glass, but it still has 6,000 health, which is nothing to scoff at for a ship this size.
Oh no, for this size, it's very, very healthy in hull strength, but it is something to be. I would not try to pull up against any other ship and try to fight it with your cargo. You have the speed and the maneuverability. You have the junk sails to get out of there. I would suggest this is the ship you use to go from point A to point B and do some quick trading while trying to avoid any confrontation.
All right, well said. I agree with everything Kalen said. On the screen right now is the stats comparison with some of the other contemporary ships of the Taipan, the Lark, the Bullet, and the Starling. You can take a moment and look over those stats, figure out which one of those ships you would like to build. All right, moving on. Let's go to... Ooh. Oh, I've been waiting for this one. This is the Hook. Oh, man, where do you start with the Hook? Well, 650 wood, 115 iron, 60,000 doubloons, 500 premium tokens. It unlocks at level 9, so this is actually... It's actually a pretty cheap ship compared to some of the level 9s and level 10s. It is all right on the pricing. The premium tokens might be a little hard to come by. They're going for about 200 PP on the market right now, which is, you know, kind of... It's mediocre. You can still get this ship, definitely, if you want to get this ship. But let's go ahead and look at the stats. The Hook's massive bow cannons make it great for piracy. That is a true statement. The Hook is going to change the meta because this ship is not optimized to work on the broadsides. It's optimized to work off of the bow. Let's see. It is a brig interceptor with 12,000 hull strength, which is 1,000 more than the Stiletto. So a very, very healthy ship. Its max armament, it has 2 size 7 cannons on each broadside, so 4 in total. Those are 36 longs. But look at this. 2 size 8 cannons on the bow. 2 size 8 cannons on the bow. They're going to go right here, right here. I got some screenshots up for you guys. These 2 cannons on the bow, size 8, 42 long guns, or even twin 9-pounder guns, they're going to absolutely change the way that people go in combat against hooks. You won't be able to run away. All right, 6 max cargo. All right, speed 7, pretty good, and storage for 50 cannonballs. Kalen, tell us about the meta, how the meta is going to change, because it is going to change.
So with the front size 8s, that's the hugest thing. Like, oh my god, if I'm being chased by one of these in anything, I'm probably going to just turn my ship and let it have it, because I'd rather give them my cargo than just spend the 10 minutes it takes to rebuild my ship. Now,
this ship just instantly made the Stiletto completely obsolete.
With the decent hull size, it does have one size smaller broadsides than the Stiletto. It is slightly slower, but it's still a formidable chaser. The Stiletto can try to do, I think, what Marauders used to do: go forward, turn, fire back. But if it messes up at any point, in which I don't think there's maybe 2 or 3 people in the sea that can actually do this tactic, so I wouldn't try it myself. You're going to mess up, and you're going to be fired upon with those chasers.
Right.
If I was faster with like the Stilettos, I'd just get out of there.
Yeah, right. So you're looking at, if you're comparing this to a Stiletto, which is, I'd say, is a fair comparison. The Stiletto is 1 speed faster, but that speed advantage is just completely taken away by those large bow chasers. In the hook, you can shoot at anything trying to run away from you. If there's a Stiletto, you guys are having a broadside fight, and the Stiletto is starting to lose. The Stiletto has less health. The Stiletto starts to pull out. If the Stiletto waits too long, they're not going to be able to escape. With a good helmer and good gunners, you're going to be able to use those chasers to kill any target that's trying to run away from you. This ship is going to change the meta. I forgot to mention this live, and I really didn't learn it until after I started recording, but another wonderful thing about the hook is that it is extremely hard to board from the water. And also, there was a special ship that some players received called the Alpha Hook. It has a radio in it, and it also has some different furniture in the captain's quarters screenshots up there right now. Another thing I wanted to mention is that these little gun ports right here and where the helm is right there, that's actually more defendable from incoming cannonballs than the Stiletto. So your cannons, your helm, they're not going to be sniped off as easily, which is another plus. Anything else to add, Kalen?
You'd hit the main points. The fact it's really hard to be sniped does make it just even that much better than the Stiletto. I can see many crews, pirate crews, even some of the Navy boats switching over and putting the Stiletto on the back burner.
All right, and some of the ships that we will compare the hook to, stats are on the screen. We have the Stiletto, the Marauder, and the Tyrant. So you can look at all the stats, pause the video, and see which one of those 4 you would like to purchase. All right, moving on, we have the trophy ship. The big old ship that we saw in all of the teasers. It is the Alliance. One thing you might have noticed is there's actually 2 variants of the Alliance. There is a pine deck and a spruce deck. Only difference is the color of the wood. Let's go ahead and take a look. The Alliance, sloop of war, 1,500 oak, 1.2 million doubloons, 300 iron, and then pine and spruce decking. Pine and spruce decking, it is a new object that you can craft at any anvil. It takes 100 premium tokens per decking, and I think it's 60.
It's 40 spruce and 200 premium tokens.
200 premium tokens?
Yep.
For
and
1 decking, and you need 5 of those.
Oh, yes, you do.
This is a level 10 ship. Point is, very, very, very expensive. Not only do you need the 1.2 million doubloons, but those deckings, wow, those deckings are going to get you. Let's go ahead and look at the stats. Is this ship worth getting? Let's find out. All right, the Alliance is a fairly large ship. It's very large, requiring many men to crew it. Yep, this version has a pine deck. All right, it is a sloop of war. Combat, 18,000 hull strength, so it's 1,000 less than the Astra. We're going to be comparing this to the Astra throughout. Both are very large. We call them ship of the lines, even though this one's technically a sloop. But the large broadside, they're going to fill pretty much the same role. 1,000 less hull strength than the Astra. Has 8 cannons, size 6 cannons on each side, 16 in total. That is probably its biggest downfall. Those are only 32-pounder long guns. I mean, they're not tiny cannons, but against the 42 longs of an Astra, I don't know if those extra 3 cannons on each broadside are going to make a huge difference. You also have 2 size 4 cannons. Those are 18 long chasers on the bow. I prefer to have them on the stern personally. One thing you might have noticed with the Alliance is that there is a lack of mortars. On the Astra, you're going to have 2 mortars. They're very, very useful, especially if you have a good gunner. The Alliance does not have any mortars at all. The Alliance has a big dead spot on its stern. Big dead spot on its stern. You got to watch out for that. It has 0 max cargo, so it's not going to be a trade ship at all. Not that surprising considering it is a combat role. It is speed 6, same as the Astra, and storage for 200 cannonballs. Kalen, let's talk about the meta.
So it's super expensive. Like, that's the first thing I say. If you're looking at something like an Astraeus and then you're looking at an Alliance, I'd be leaning towards an Astraeus just because the sheer cost. Now, for large crews that kind of want to show off, this may be the ship for you. If you want to show off that you have a lot of money, a lot of people, and the ability to fight in thing, if you can manage to do it, that'd be actually fairly impressive.
Yeah, if you can get 9 guys together on a beautiful Alliance, I mean, just good on you for getting all that together. This is expensive.
But even though most people don't think of Astraeus as something you use unique cargo for, if you're a pirate or even just like some other guy and you find cargo in the sea or you happen to take cargo, not being able to carry it with you is a big downside. That cargo is worth a lot of money. Now,
yes, it is. You might have 9 crew members with you, but you don't want them to all be carrying crates.
Now, the fact that the Alliance only has chasers and no mortars is very one of its downfalls, because the mortars on this race, the front mortars, super high up mortars, made it one of the things that made this race scary. Also, the armament on the sides. Yes, you have 8 cannons on the side. I think mathematically it does more damage, but the fact you need a lot more people, I would almost rather go with an Astraeus and a hook. That kind of combo. There's also no stern cannons on the Alliance, making it a very weak spot. Like, just is a
We always
big
talk
flaw.
about how the Astra has that big blind spot near its stern in the quarters, but at least they have chasers there, or chasers, whatever you call them when they're firing back. Astra has cannons on the stern that you can fire back with. The Alliance does not. They have absolutely no defense against ships that are behind it.
And with having less health, same speed, same maneuverability, I just don't think it is worth as a combat ship compared to an Astraeus. Now, if you want a good trophy ship to show you a lot of money, put all your size 6 glowy cannons on it. This may be for you, but for pure...
For the rest of us poor folks.
For everyone else who's only interested in combat, the Astraeus is still better. And with its speed 6, I can just see a hook coming right up behind the Alliance and sinking it with size 8, and the Alliance not being able to do a single thing about it.
All right, well said, well said. All right, let's go ahead and compare the stats of the Astra, the Osprey, and the Phoenix on the screen. Go ahead and pause the video and look at those. And Kalen, thank you for coming. This is going to conclude our ship stats section of the video.
Anytime. Thank you, man.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so thank you guys for watching the video. We covered on absolutely everything that was in the update. We talked about the new scrap mechanic. We talked about the new furniture, the maps, the stone pickaxes and axes, and most importantly, these lovely ships right here. This one is mine, and you may not have this one. This Taipan is mine. Anyways, if you guys liked the video, make sure you leave a like. If you found it helpful, go ahead and also leave a like. If you want to hear more Tradelands content, want to be notified every time I upload, hit that subscribe button. Have any questions or comments, put those down in the comments. And if you are a tryhard, you can join my Discord, link in the description below. But anyways, guys, leave a like. It really helps out. Subscribe if you've not yet subscribed. I think we're all done here for this update for the time being. And see you guys next time.